Hi guys, recently I made this roast duck with red wine and cherry sauce and it was so good. The duck was really juicy with a crispy skin and it was so straightforward too, a bit like roasting a chicken, but it takes a little longer. Start off by thickly slicing a few red onions and laying them on your roasting tray. Place the duck on top, making sure that the tail is tucked into the roasting tray. Drizzle over a little olive oil, about a tablespoon, and then sprinkle over quite a lot of sea salt flakes. I did about 2 tablespoons. Now take one large orange and cut it into 8 pieces and insert as many of them as you can into the cavity of the duck, and any you have left over that won't fit, just leave them in the tray. Now transfer to a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius for the first 20 minutes and then turn it down to 180 for the next hour and a half. Just remember to baste it maybe every 20 minutes or so during cooking. A turkey baster is really handy for this, but if you don't have one, just use a big spoon. To make the sauce, just place the saucepan over high heat and add about 5 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar and let it reduce down so it's all really syrupy and boiling. Then add a good sprig of fresh rosemary, 3 star anise, 15 centimeters of cinnamon, about a teaspoon of cloves, a teaspoon of black peppercorns, and 500 milliliters of red wine, something good and fruity. Let that come to the boil until it's reduced by about 2/3, then add 500 milliliters of beef stock. Allow that to come to the boil and reduce by 2/3 as well before you take it off the heat and set it aside until later. When the duck is done, take it out of the oven and remove it from the tray to rest a while. Now remove and discard the red onion. Now the remaining juices will have so much flavour, it'll be really delicious, but there's a lot of fat in there too. So you're going to pour off all the juices into one of these gravy separators. That would allow all the fat to rise to the top and you can pour the juices back into the tray from the bottom. First though, I'm going to add a little bit of cherry syrup from the can of cherries. Let that come to the boil and add the drained cherries. Now pour in the red wine sauce from earlier, but pour through a sieve first to catch the rosemary and the spices. Now stir it up and try to break up any of those burnt on duck bits around the edges. They're pure duck flavour. Now slowly pour in the duck juices. Once you see fat coming through the spout, then stop pouring. Now let all that heat up until it almost comes to the boil and taste it to check for seasoning. And adjust if needs be. I felt this could use a little pinch of salt. Then just serve up your duck and get someone who's a bit more skilled than me to carve it. This really was so flavoursome and juicy, a real step up from chicken with minimal extra effort. Don't discard the rendered fat though, because potatoes can be roasted in that, and the leftover bones can be used to make a delicious stock too. So that's it, easy as that. Thanks a million for watching guys, I hope you liked this recipe. If you did, be sure to give me a like below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you try this recipe, let me know how you got on social media. You'll find all the links to my social media accounts in the description below, as well as the link to my blog where you'll find this full recipe at www.rookiecook.org.